Good evening, good morning, good night, wherever you are in the world. This is LWOD of Darkness, Rage Across New York venue. Tonight we find our favorite cub, Dusk. He has exited his home, the Umbra, and entered that strange and frightening place called the Tellurian. He is curious. He's been moving around the sept, learning rites, and speaking to people of different tribes. He's spoken to a Get. He's spoken to the Glasswalkers. He's spoken to Bodenars. He has spoken to Red Talons, of all things. And he's spoken to a Antenna. Now he feels like, due to his affinity for spirits of the night, that he should perhaps talk to someone who is possibly a little bit closer to what he believes his lineage might be. So he has kind of put the feelers out and discovered that there's really only one on the sept now that poor Gabriel has gone to Valhalla, and that would be the Wormfoe, Garrett. So he remembers he's seen Garrett a lot at this rock, especially when he was using his spirit network to watch the fight with the Gleaming Eye. So he has asked Moonbeam to go grab him 2 coffees, and she came back, and now he has wandered over towards the rock with the 2 coffees after giving Moonbeam a little kiss on the cheek and sending her off to yoga. He's got his usual t-shirt with fabric painted blue jean shorts on and some flip-flops. Just looks like a late summer day, flower child, basically. Today, Moonbeam made him a little crown out of daisies that he's wearing. He has no idea that this looks absolutely ridiculous on him, and he doesn't really care. So he'll walk up towards the rock with his 2 coffees in hand, looking for the Wormfoe.
And the Wormfoe is currently sitting down at the rock. And he is currently holding his phone, looking at it or going over messages. There's been some activity today, so he's been responding to certain messages and just basically going over that and smoking a cigarette until he has to go on his patrols.
And Disc will walk up and he'll stop an appropriate distance away and just kind of crouch down and watch, waiting to be acknowledged. He'll turn his head to the side, kind of with that RCA dog / submissive look. And then he'll remember his recent conversation with Smiles of the Night, and he'll go ahead and lay on his back with his head to the side after laying the 2 coffees down.
Garrett, his eyes will briefly glance to Dusk before returning back to the phone. That's the first time you've done that for me.
Learn something new every day. He smiles.
You come to sit back upon the rock?
If that's what you wish, right? I just had, I wanted to share some coffee and maybe some conversation if you had a moment. But I see you've got your phone out. I don't want to bother you.
He looks up at Dusk. And then he pushes a button on his phone and shoves it in his pocket. You want to converse? That's new.
He kind of shrugs, laying there on the ground on his back. I've been talking to my family, and they felt like that I should talk to more of Grandfather Thunder's brood, as it seems in the next few months I may have a rite of passage that needs to be passed so I can become an adult. And you see him raise his hands and he goes the air quotes adult, and fulfill my purpose for Gaia.
Interesting.
So I've spoken with many tribes, but never one of my own brood. So here I am.
And you are a crescent moon, correct?
Depends on who you talk to. Some say crescent moon, some say laughing moon.
But you know the answer, don't you?
Of course I do.
And what would that be?
Crescent moon to Hamid's, laughing moon to Lucas.
Interesting. So, since you think you're close upon your rite of passage, what have you learned?
I've learned many rites. I've learned that it is my duty to act as a go-between for all Guru and the spirits, and for the spirits and all Guru. It is also part of my purpose to fight to defend Gaia. It is also part of my purpose to fight to defend the members of this sect. And it is also part of my purpose to submit to those of higher station. It is part of my purpose not to mate with other Guru.
Okay, I get you. You learned the litany.
He kind of smiles.
So, rites. What rites have you learned?
He'll, still laying on his back, he'll kind of he'll raise his hands in front of his face as if he's clicking off on a hand. Breath of Gaia, greet the sun, prayer for the prey, bone rhythms, hunting prayer, greet the moon, rite of binding, rite of talisman dedication, rite of the cardboard palace. And he kind of goes, that's a good one. Rite of preserving the fetish. And he kind of raises a finger. I've already started doing that one with, and he snaps his fingers. Frozen Hammer Raya.
Oh, good. Was rite of cleansing among those?
No, he is not. He cannot learn that one yet.
Okay.
He has to be Cleoth to learn that one.
Okay.
But he keeps going. Rite of the questing stone. Rite of heritage. And right now I'm learning rite of growth.
That rite of the cardboard palace. Could you teach me that one?
I don't see why not, Brian. I'm not sure. And he'll kind of move his hands like, or in a rolling over gesture. Is that okay?
Yes, you can get up.
Can't really do it on my back.
Yeah.
He grins. He looks around. We're going to need a box or some type of large container.
Garrett will walk back around the rock. And when he comes back, he has a fairly sizable cardboard box.
Okay. And he'll kind of look at it and kind of take its measures. This should do. You know, kind of wander over, start looking inside of it. He'll, let's see what I do for this one. I'm looking up rolls real quick, just to make sure I do this right. He'll start walking around it slowly, running his hands over the edges of the cardboard, straightening it, and you can see he's kind of talking to himself while he does it in spirit speech. So I'm not sure if
he can understand.
Okay, all right. He's starting to push things together, you know, talking about, you know, things have to be very clean, things have to be very warm, very comfortable. This is a place that needs to be dry, it needs to be warm, it needs to be a place where we can sleep for the night, it needs to be a place where a group can find rest, can call itself a home, can survive when needed, can keep things alive. And with that, he will spend a willpower, and then he will roll. And wow, that is the best cardboard palace on the planet. And you kind of feel, you see the structure of the box kind of solidify. And you see the back of it kind of close and kind of seal itself. The front kind of takes on the I guess say like almost like a doorway type effect. And he kind of he'll slide inside, and you'll hear him from inside. You want to come in and try it?
And then I need to make a roll to learn it. And I will spend a point of willpower, and I believe it's intelligence rituals, and then the difficulty is 10 minus your intelligence?
Yes.
Okay. Spent the point of willpower. And that's a fail because 10 minus my intelligence is 7.
So you don't quite get it this time.
Nope.
And something that Dusk did you didn't understand perfectly.
Yeah, we'll try again another time.
Yeah, but it does specifically, it says that you can do it in plain sight, so it's not like he was doing anything mystical that you didn't understand. So,
right.
So Dusk kind of peeks his head out of the cardboard box and smiles at you.
Interesting.
Did you want to try it out?
Yeah, he'll go inside.
Okay.
Peek in, sit down.
It's a very nice cardboard box that looks like it would be a warm, dry, safe place to sleep for the night.
Very interesting.
It also kind of, you can tell that it's a place that were you healing, it could assist with that as well.
Ah, yes. Now, I didn't quite fully grasp it. I may have you show me again someday. But the cub that came to me before you, seeking knowledge about the Shadow Lords. As a matter of fact, he was fully committed to joining the Shadow Lords upon his rite of passage. He's no longer with us.
Oh, Gabriel.
Yes.
Yeah. You see him he seems, he, you can see he kind of looks down and, yeah, he looks sad.
Is that a manipulation subterfuge?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Okay, I'm going to try and beat it.
Okay.
I don't beat it.
Looks sad.
Garrett doesn't look sad at all.
Okay. He looks sad. He's, he fulfilled his purpose to Gaia.
That he did. But he also failed this little test I just gave you.
He looks up. Test?
Yes. You just offered to teach me something for nothing in return. Quite frankly, I'm a little surprised because I was led to believe you deeply cared about secrets.
He smiles. And learning that purpose to serve Gaia at times has to override purpose of own purpose.
No, indeed. However, I'm one of the nice children of thunder. So, just for your knowledge, I'm going to remember that you offered to teach me this right. I'll put it away in the back of my head, and should you need my assistance in the future, I may give it. But in the future, know that you should never offer to give away something unless you're getting something in return.
He kind of cocks his head to the side and looks at him. But I'm already getting what I came here for.
And what is that?
A conversation with you.
About what?
Well, you've already taught me several things.
And what is that?
As you say, never give something away for free.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's something I already knew. But I'm also
But you failed the test.
But did I?
I'd be delighted to hear your interpretation of how you passed.
Well, to pass the test, one would have to know about the test, but your condition for passing the test was that I gave away something for nothing, but you gave me what I wanted the moment you acknowledged my presence and started speaking to me for nothing.
Consider that a duty of the worm foe.
And is it not my duty to teach Guru the rights to allow them to commune with the spirits and the rights of our people?
Sure.
So we both failed then.
But you can also use your position to gain something more. And in this case, I was going to learn a new right, even though I didn't quite grasp it.
He kind of looks up in the air like he's thinking for a moment.
You could have gotten a whole lot more.
Oh, probably. But being around Guru and Hamids has changed my way of thinking considerably.
Well, really now?
Yes.
In what way?
Well, I've learned He kind of looks up. Kind of squints an eye at you. Are we testing again? He kind of quirks a smile a little bit.
If I were testing you, what would I be testing?
To see if I would do it again.
You mean you give me something for nothing?
Well, if I had in the first place. Probably. He kind of sits up. You kind of see a smile on his face, like he's really, really enjoying this.
Mm-hmm.
He crosses his legs in a lotus style, like one does when they're sitting there with you doing yoga, meditating, and you kind of see his face go blank, and like he smiles big time. You could tell that he is very happy to be doing this.
Okay. That was a manip sub?
Yep.
Okay. Do I even need to roll P&E?
Oh, no. He is, you can tell he is very happy to be doing this. Okay. Yes. And actually, since he flubbed that, you could tell this is probably something that he has done 1,000,000 times.
Okay. So, if you were to ask something of me, for me to learn what it is that's changed you, or how you've changed, you would be seeking in return.
I know my family, but I do not know how my family interacts with the chosen guru of Grandfather Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
I know how my brood reacts with me, but I do not know how all of Grandfather Thunder's brood reacts with those who have gone through the rite of passage and are now within his brood. I don't know really very much about the guru that are members of Grandfather Thunder's brood. Although I'm already very, he's still kind of looking down like he's looking for a word. Excited? Yes.
The first thing you need to know about the Children of Thunder is that weakness is anathema.
He kind of squints that one eye that's kind of odd and looks at you. And purpose of weakness. What is the purpose of weakness?
Well, that's the $1,000,000 question. Some would say there is no purpose to weakness. It only sets you back. And what is the purpose of something that sets you back?
Who determines weakness? What one brood calls weakness, one may call it strength.
There's certainly room for interpretation. Do you have an example of such a weakness that might be called a strength by someone else?
There are those that say that caring for someone can be seen as a weakness, and then there are those that say it is a strength.
Indeed. What's your own personal opinion on caring?
It is something that is new to me.
It is something that's what? I'm sorry?
It is something that is new to me.
Aha.
So something I'm still learning.
Is there anyone that you say you'd care about currently?
Not a bot, but nothing. He just says, probably. And you can tell with that P&E that, yeah, there's somebody.
So tell me, what lengths would you go to protect this person you care about? Probably. And he smirks when he says probably.
As much as anyone else that it is my purpose to protect.
You sure you wouldn't just go the little extra mile for them?
What is purpose of extra mile?
Just doing
what does
something
running
for them.
have to do with it?
Just doing something for them that you wouldn't for someone else. Someone that you don't quite care as much about.
Purpose is to fight for Gaia and protect and fight for all members of Sept. Why would one be any more important than another? That is out of balance and makes no sense.
But that's the thing. Caring is 2 shades away from love. And love doesn't make sense a lot of times.
Would not know. Have never determined purpose of love. From what I have seen, love is one of those things that is more weakness than strength.
Garrett nods.
Causes one to be out of balance.
Exactly.
Sometimes love can get in the way of purpose, and that cannot be allowed.
Exactly. The next question is what to do about weakness once you identify it.
Seems like the most efficient way to handle weakness once identified is to remove it.
Uh-huh. So tell me, how do you go about removing love? Should you love someone?
You see him kind of sitting there, and he's kind of looking up like he's thinking. Should you love someone and that becomes a weakness, then the easiest way to remove that weakness would be to remove that person. He just kind of looks back at you.
In a very clinical sense, yes.
What is
What
purpose
if
of
that's not possible?
Purpose of clinical?
Clinical means much like a doctor would. If a doctor sees a cancer, he removes the cancer. But another person, it's a little different because you can get in trouble for removing a person. And then there's the problem. Can you really remove the person that you love? Would your feelings for them allow you to do it?
Tess frowns a little bit. If love gets in the way of purpose, then is it truly love?
That's the thing. It's unpredictable. Pops up at the least expected times.
He nods.
It's irrational.
I see.
The truth is, there's no real answer. But it is going to be a question that will come up. Maybe not specifically with love or caring. But we all have our weaknesses. And we all have to deal with them. Sometimes removal is an option. Sometimes it's mitigation or concealment. But all in all, you must be aware of your weakness and you must work to overcome them.
Nods. I think I am doing so now.
And what would your weakness be?
Right now, one of my weaknesses is the lack of knowledge about the kind of things. Look for a phrase, Hamid things.
Garrett nods. That is indeed a weakness. And since you are making strides towards that, good on you.
Smiles in the night, Raya seems to think that all Hamids are weak, regardless.
And that could ultimately be his downfall.
So are you saying you consider that a weakness? His closed-mindedness?
Indeed. Anytime you dismiss the enemy, you give them a slight edge.
Are Hamids really his enemy, or just humans?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got the Hamid human thing confused, like everybody else.
He's been making a very big point of it to everybody.
Whether they are really his enemies or not, he seems to hold an antagonistic relationship with them.
He doesn't seem to see difference between Hamid and human.
Exactly. Failing to see nuance. I'd call that a weakness.
He also allows his hatred to get in the way of his purpose, which is to fight for Gaia. He believes his purpose is to kill Hamids and humans.
Hatred is that other side of the coin that caring and love is on. Very strong emotions can blind you. But Smiles in the night. He protects the veil. He hasn't done anything truly stupid that I've heard of. So one could say he's covering for his weakness.
Or at least working towards that.
Garrett shrugs. Who knows how he's dealing with it?
So what does Grandfather Thunder say about purpose of Guru of his brood?
Grandfather Thunder demands respect. Demands that you only respect those that deserve it.
You can see him kind of rolling that around in his head.
Power is important. But what exactly is power?
Kind of slow smile crosses across his face. I have yet to see any clear definition. It is so many different things, and yet none of them. It is different for every creature. And what is power without purpose?
Indeed. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but I am not the strongest guru here.
Depends on your definition of strength.
Exactly. But in this case, I specifically mean physical, because a lot of people value physical strength, like your den father. So how is it that I am currently sitting in the position of Wormfoe? Shouldn't one need power to hold such a position?
Apparently not.
That gets an eyebrow raise. So you're saying I have no power?
That is not what I said at all.
Then what is it you're saying?
I'm saying that you claim to have no strength, and yet you have power.
Well, I specifically meant physical strength.
I see. Just as there are many definitions of power, there are many definitions of strength that I have been told.
Strength and power are kind of interchangeable terms. There's nuance to it.
I would say that I am stronger with the broods and the umbra than I am with the guy who looks around. Humans.
Aha.
So,
see, that is a very, very useful thing to have. Your rapport with the spirits. The things they must know and the things they tell you.
oh, he's got a roll for that. Mm-hmm. He goes blank.
And yeah, you get me, but I mean, come on, he knows.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious that he goes blank.
Mm-hmm. Poker face.
Oh, yeah.
I sat and watched you sit upon that rock, communing with those spirits as they traveled to and from the battlefield, giving you all kinds of info. I'm sure they're around. And he looks kind of generally up at the sky.
He kind of, you see, kind of furrow his brow. The spirits are always around, right? They are everywhere. They are in everything. That is their nature. That is their purpose.
Yes, and you're very close to them.
Hi.
Knowledge Knowledge is very powerful.
He nods. He's not going to deny that one.
If you were to petition to join Grandfather Thunder's brood, I'd say he'd be very interested.
And would that be because of
Damn, I'm doing terrible today.
would that be because of my dealings with the brood, or would that be because of my family, or would that be because of my purpose?
Other than the initial flub with the ritual, you understand that sometimes doing what you must means doing something that probably shouldn't happen. For what is your purpose? Your ultimate purpose.
My ultimate purpose is to fight for God.
Exactly. And sometimes there's obstacles that come. Obstacles that no one else wants to really deal with.
Yes.
The children of thunder always deal with an obstacle, one way or another.
So what is the purpose of Children of Thunder then?
To fight for Gaia.
He kind of smiles. That is purpose of brood. What is purpose of the brood of Grandfather Thunder within the nation?
To really fight for Gaia.
That raises an eyebrow. Interesting.
He's got a smirk on his face.
You can see he's kind of looking, thinking. All right. I will accept this purpose.
Any other questions?
He looks over, picks up his coffee. Are you going to drink this?
Eventually. I'll probably take it on patrol.
He smiles and nods. That is his purpose. It would be happy were coffee a spirit. He kind of smiles slightly.
Indeed, everything has its purpose.
Oh, very much. Without purpose, we are useless.
Mm-hmm.
He just says it matter of factly. I mean, there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go?
Oh my God.
Nothing there. So, he he'll stand up, and you see him open the top of his coffee cup and look at the liquid inside, and kind of move it a little bit, and then look up and smile at Garrett and say, "Thank you, Ryan." And he'll natural channel himself right across into the Umbra. And there he goes. Actually, at the channel.
Dang.
And so you see him literally just
Yep. No mirror.
no mirror.
Garrett stays in the cardboard palace, sipping on his coffee for a little bit, because it's quite cozy in there. Before finally,
Yep, and it'll last. I can't remember how many. I think I got 4 successes. No, I got 5 because of the willpower.
Mm-hmm.
It'll last 5 days.
Interesting. Okay. But yeah, he'll stay there for a little bit, drink coffee, before finally emerging, and then head off on patrol.
All right. And with that, thank you, watchers, that we had for a few minutes. And have a good evening.